It's picking it up, picking it up, picking it up. And we are live. No, we're not. No, we're not. Hey, you fucking whore. Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Behind the Fourth Wall. We're just streaming live from Fourth Wall Studios here in North Hollywood, California. I am Travis Clyburn, and with me is a very fantastic guest, Andrew Roffe, everybody.
Thanks, Travis. I appreciate that.
This guy's new to comedy, only 3 months in, but fucking hilarious. I wanted to show him off.
Oh, my God.
To
New
the
to
world.
stand-up, yeah. I worked in comedy as an actor and a writer and a director a little bit, but I...
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you just direct, like, short films and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did sketches. I did a couple web series, music video. And then, you know, as an actor, I had a couple of credits in TV and movies, but...
Oh, really? What shows did you do?
My first credit was in a movie called Year One with Jack Black.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. Who'd you play?
I just played a slave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My part got cut. Actually, my part...
Oh, no, really?
Yeah,
That
my
sucks.
part got cut.
You still get paid, though, right? Even though your part gets cut?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole longer story to it, but my part got cut filming-wise because they were doing bomb testing in White Sands, New Mexico.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we shot there, and they had to rearrange the days. So I got the part. I was very close with Harold Ramis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
really cool.
Yeah, and so he was my mentor growing up, and so he let me fly out and get my first credit.
Oh, that's really cool,
Yeah.
man. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So are you SAG now because you did that?
Yeah, and from other things, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, what a waste of money that is.
Yeah, because you still have to pay in your dues, right, to keep your SAG card, right?
Yeah, just to get the free screeners at the end of the year.
Is it still $3,000 just to get the card in general?
Man, it was a while. This was like 10 years ago. It was something like I did like a payment plan. Like I remember the money I made didn't even cover like the initiation fee. Like I was in the hole from getting a job.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that's something about SAG. Like a lot of people don't even realize that getting your SAG card or just being SAG affiliated it costs money all the fucking time.
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Paying dues to unions and stuff like that. Just to, I mean, do you even? Are there tiers to the SAG thing? Because I really don't know all that much about it.
I think just to the health insurance. Tier 2 is like,
oh, really?
Whatever, we'll keep you alive. And Tier 1's like, they'll cover acupuncture.
Oh, no shit.
I
That's
think so, yeah.
Fucking silly.
And I think Tier 2 is like 15 grand or something like that. And Tier 1 is like 30, 35.
15 grand.
I've been told a statistic, and I don't know if this is true, but it sounds true that 95% of SAG members do not make a living as an actor.
Really? 97%?
95?
95?
Yeah.
Fucking holy shit.
Yeah.
Man. I believe that.
Yeah.
Though, you know what I mean? Like, because I've got a few friends out here. Even the first guy I met who actually introduced me to Joe Manente years ago, he's SAG. He got his SAG card because he got enough credits because he was a guard in Angels and Demons. He stood at the Vatican.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like a featured background or
yes. So yeah. So it's like no speaking lines, but it was a 5-week shoot.
Wow.
Of him just chilling at the Vatican because he was always just there at the door. You know what I mean? And like you get that much screen time, and I guess that qualified you for SAG.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get it.
Yeah, and I didn't realize how fucking complicated the whole fucking thing was. But yeah, that's really cool, man. And I like that you were in year one. Did you get to meet Jack Black?
Yeah, I mean, so I was still living in Chicago, and I was performing at Second City. Literally, nobody was coming to our shows, and it was just it was terrible. And then I got to fly out to New Mexico, this place called White Sands, where literally like the sand is white. I mean, it looks like snow. And I got to work with Jack Black and Michael Cera and Horatio Sands and
that's really cool.
Yeah, June Rayfield and Harold, was the director, and yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, man, it was great.
I know the things you gotta do, being in this business and stuff. So how long did you live in? So what was your move, by the way? So where were you from originally?
I'm from the suburbs of Chicago, the mean streets of the North Shore.
Mean streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
North Shore. I love Chicago. I always wanted to do Second City. Literally the reason I do stand up in general is because of how much I love Chris Farley.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
like just I'm such a huge Chris Farley fan. Plus, I was always a short, chubby kid in high school and stuff. So, well, fat. I was not chubby. But I loved Chris Farley, and I always wanted to move to Chicago and do Second City.
It's never too late.
Yeah, I know, right? One of these fucking days, maybe. If I get tired of the great weather out here.
That's true.
That's one of the reasons why I actually decided to come out here instead. I went to Chicago in February once and went,
Oh yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's not okay how cold it gets in Chicago.
No, I remember my last winter there. It was like December, January 2009.
Yeah.
January 2009. I was walking the family dog. It was like 60 below wind chill. And I just looked at my mom and I said, like, never again. The way that people talk about the Holocaust. Never again. Yeah, I just can't do that.
Oh, okay. That's a good time to bring this up. Oh, you're Jewish, just so people knows you're not making a fucking... Yeah.
And I don't care. You can write me a letter. I don't care.
I don't think any of my fans give a good goddamn about anything. But you said you have a bit. I don't want to burn your joke, but I do want to talk about. You really did the Ancestry.com thing, right?
Yeah, I really did it. And the thing is, like, I'm such a delusional person. I was really hoping that I'd be like Scottish or African or Native American.
That's
like,
something, right?
I know exactly where my family's from. Like, we're all Eastern
But just
European
something
Jews.
like speckled in there.
Yeah.
Right?
And exactly. And my mom's was like 99% or something. Like, it was
Ashkenazi Jew, right?
Yeah, Ashkenazi. I say Eastern European because I don't know if people know the word Ashkenazi.
Some people do. Maybe I do just because
you hang
out
around
here.
too many comedians.
Yeah, I know. And there's an oddly disproportionate amount of comics that are Ashkenazi Jews. Alex Kane, case in point, had him on this podcast. Yeah.
The first open mic I ever went to, I got up there and I was like, man, if like Hitler got his way, I would have gone like third tonight. I don't know how that worked because I'm Jewish. I don't know. I would have escaped somehow. But there are so many Jews in this. in
this city in general. I think it's interesting because I come from such a small little white trash town.
Were there any Jews there?
Absolutely not. No,
yeah.
Not even one.
Yeah.
No, the first Jewish person I met.
I love the certainty. There were not.
No,
one.
there was not. No, not even any hiding ones.
Oh.
no one was Anne Frank.
You didn't check anyone's attic?
No. I didn't. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have. But no. The first Jewish person I ever met was this woman named Diane, who's actually friends with me on Facebook still.
Yeah.
And we did improv together.
Really? Where?
Yeah, when I was 16 years old, it was a place called Rosewood Arts Center. It was like one of those classes, you know what I mean? Like if you're small town, you don't really have a choice but to go to like weird art centers and take improv classes from. But I had this group called Smarty Pants that would tour schools. It was like improv for kids. And I like kind of interned-ished for them and took classes. And that's how I met my first Jew.
Really?
Yeah. Which just sounds like such a weird white people fucking thing to say.
Yeah, man. I don't think I qualify as white anymore. And
really? You know what?
That's fine. I don't want to be white anyways.
I know, dude. I don't understand when there's a comic that comes here and he's Jewish and he will talk about being a straight white male and I'm like, yeah, but you have a card to play. You know what I mean? Like you can be like, I'm Jewish though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's something. Like I'm all the terrible things.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's not true.
Well, I mean, in this ultra left-wing world, I'm Scots-Irish Nordic. My dad did his ancestry.
Yeah.
Thing. I have not done mine yet. I have the kit, but I have
just sent a bottle of Johnny Walker and not the results.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, this is how white you are.
Exactly.
Here you go. He was 99.99% Northern European.
Wow.
Like
lucky him.
Because what did yours say? Yours said 97%?
Yeah.
What was the 3%?
Like broadly European.
I love that they put the broadly European.
I had some family from Germany.
Oh, no shit. Well, that makes sense. I mean, most of the Eastern European Jews moved to Germany, right?
I mean, the way I'm told, I believe most of my family, they were like Russia, Poland, and a little bit Romania. And then, but they were they'd all come to America.
Oh shit.
For like I think early 1900s.
Okay. Because I mean, then, like Ashkenazi, like isn't that what does that word even mean? I don't even know exactly. Or do you not know?
I think it means thank God we're not Persian.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I have I don't think I have a Hebrew tattoo. I have a few of them, and I remember I went back for a family reunion to Chicago, and the first thing my grandma saw it, and she said, "I swear to God, this is what she said. What happens if you go to Saudi Arabia?" The first thing she said.
Wow, really?
When the fuck would I ever be going there?
Yeah,
and like,
why would you
she
fucking
think
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Now, if you're an American journalist,
There's
you
like
get fucking murdered.
Did she not forget about the strong anti-Semitism in this country?
Yeah, there's some of that.
Yeah,
There's tiki torch carrying motherfuckers.
I don't need to go that far.
How do you feel when you see that shit, man? I don't think I've ever asked anybody who's Jewish how they actually feel about that, because it's like they're screaming the Jews will not replace us. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even understand exactly what the fuck they're talking about. But how do you feel when you fucking see something like that?
You know, I mean, Howard Stern like has a saying where he's like, you know, we could go to the moon and, you know, they would hate us on the moon. Like, people don't like the Jews. They don't.
That's so. Why the fuck do you think that is?
I mean, because there are a lot of Jews in powerful positions.
Right.
There's a lot of Jews in entertainment and media, banking. You know, I think also, and then that's sort of from a right-wing perspective. And then on the left, I think especially on these ultra-liberal college campuses, they're so anti-Israel. And, you know, Palestinians, they have very good PR people here in this country.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, Israel is very guilty of doing some terrible things, but...
oh, yeah, and I mean, and it's really, I mean, and no, I have no fucking dog in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I just wish people would get along.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
It's, I don't know. I think it's, I've been talking about religion a lot on stage lately. I think not even like being against, but it's like, as someone who believes in fucking fuck all, I don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to side with anybody who wants one religion in one place and you're not allowed to be another religion. Insane. Which is, it's nuts to me, but at the same time, it's like if you're a certain kind of people and you want your own place, whatever, but also to say it's only this, I just think that's another level of religious persecution. So.
I mean, sort of my thing is like, and it's a little flip, but it's like, you know, when people, you know, blame the Jews for being in Israel and like occupying this land, it's like, I said, go blame Adolf Hitler. No, seriously, he destroyed the entire Jewish population in Europe. And then when the World War II was over, they had absolutely nowhere to go because they weren't welcome back. So you had like all these displaced people who were Holocaust survivors or whatnot. And so the United Nations put them there in the 40s, you know.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, there was like places like Africa, I believe. There were places all over. And so, you know, that's how they migrated. I've actually never even been to Israel.
Really? You've never done that? What is it? It's not necessarily a pilgrimage. What is it called?
Birthright.
Birthright?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, traveling to the Middle East combines two of my least favorite things, which is long rides in airplanes and just ethnic food. This is a bad combination for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty fucking funny. Yeah. So do you think you'll ever do Birthright, or do you not give a fuck?
I might be too old now, but I would like to go.
Because you can it's free, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's free, but, you know, it's like everything, you know, comes with strings attached. Like, you're on that tour. Like, you are...
Yeah, and I've heard it's a very, like, almost a propaganda thing where they're trying to get you to move to Israel, right?
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard.
I will only move there if Fourth Wall opens a mic there.
Fourth Wall Israel, man. Yeah. I tell you what, if you ever decide to move there, we'll let you open a new Fourth Wall.
Yeah. Where bombing means something completely different.
But no Palestinians, okay? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, no. I think, you know what, that's my understanding is Jews and Palestinians, Jews and Arabs, they live pretty peacefully in Israel.
Really?
Yeah, I think maybe
I have a great deal of fucking misconceptions about that area.
I mean, I think that's the way that
that's the way the media pushes it, to me at least. I mean, that's what
friends of mine who are in Israel or have been there say that people get along for the most part, and it is not the way that is.
I feel like that is so indicative of fucking modern media anyway. It's like, let's take every little story where, you know, some crazy white lady is calling the cops on black people, or like any story, and make it seem like no one is getting along anywhere ever.
Yeah.
And blow it out of proportion. Because I hear comics come in here even and just say some really oddly left-leaning, like really crazy shit about how terrible white people are behaving everywhere.
Yeah.
And like it's hard for me not to defend my people. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Like
listen. I call myself like a former liberal. I kind of been pushed a little bit to the middle.
It's hard. I'm about, dude. I'd like to. And
I just think like common sense is just like,
yeah, man. It's
amazing how little like we go for common sense in this country.
I know, and you know what, man? I've always been somebody who felt not necessarily like a pariah, but always that I never had a group I clung to. I never had like a clique that I was 100% involved with or anything like that growing up. And so I think that's why I'm able to completely toe a line. And I feel like I get away with it in a lot of ways because I never said I was a liberal or I never said I was a conservative.
Yeah.
So even especially Rob Morris just joined us. Hi, Rob Morris.
Rob.
The beautiful Rob Morris.
Yeah. Rob is doing a lot of work to get Ted Cruz reelected.
Rob is a lover of Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Ted Cruz's biggest fan. Do you know what Rishi Arya? If you join and you watch, shout out to Rishi. Very fucking funny comic who comes here. He accidentally did a Ted Cruz ad. Political.
Really?
Yeah, he signed up because he thought.
Oh wow.
He said, well, you can rewatch it, buddy. But dude,
don't be bummed. It was very missable. Travis was good, but
we're getting into it now, Rob. Right. Now that you've joined.
Yeah.
Oh, but Rishi said he signed up and he heard that it was an anti-Hillary and then an anti-Trump ad, 2 different ads.
Oh.
And he went, word, I don't like Hillary, I support Bernie, and fuck Trump, right?
Yeah.
And he gets there and it's for Ted Cruz.
Oh.
And he's just like, well, they're gonna pay me, I guess. And he said from all his IMDb credits and all the things Rishi's done, he's like, he gets calls from people who may only recognize him from this fucking Ted Cruz ad. I think they were just stoked anybody of color showed the fuck up.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a handsome Indian fella. I'm sure they were like, yes.
Oh yeah, right.
He does have a bit of a young Republican haircut though. He's got this.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a proud boy. Which, by the way, like
proud
that, like
boy. I'm just recently hearing about these fucking guys. By the way.
Yeah,
like,
the Proud Boys.
Do you know?
I just saw one of their videos and like I
haven't even seen one of their videos. Do tell.
They're just beating up people.
Jesus Christ, is that what they do?
Like they are violence first. Like that is like literally. That's what they say. Violence first. Like violence.
That is insane.
Everything.
So are they a neo-Nazi group in a way, or are they white nationalists? Because I don't know much about them. I just keep hearing about them.
I mean, they just love Trump.
Damn.
They're just loving Trump.
Proud Boys.
Yeah.
That just sounds so fucking racist already.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up, man. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
They need whatever the opposite of that should be, the Pride Boys, and just be like a bunch of just like tough gay guys.
Oh, dude, that's what I love. I never wanted to out you or anything, but I mean,
you can out me. It's okay.
He's a gay man.
Yeah.
I think is that proper vernacular?
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm not a practicing one, but yeah.
You're not practicing?
No.
That's how you get better.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's great, especially, dude, especially out here. It's really, there's just a bunch of big ass dudes, very in shape, very strong guys. Yeah. Especially they go to my gym, who like, I'll see them doing squats together.
Where in LA?
24 Hour Fitness.
Which one?
In North Hollywood.
Oh boy. Well,
they're all porn stars too. This is a porn star. Like so many porn stars of every variety.
Yeah.
Go to my gym here, 24 Hour Fitness. So it's almost intimidating because everyone's so gorgeous, but also a little slutty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a touch slutty.
Do you get hit on?
No, I'm a particular flavor of white guy. Because I feel like a lot of girls that like, because I actually had a few girls hit on me who are well, maybe okay, no, I get hit on by really effeminate gay dudes. That would make sense because I'm a larger fella, right?
Yeah.
You know, the whole I don't think I'm really would I be a bear? I don't think so. I don't have any hair. I'm hairless like a baby seal. Nothing going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
I don't know. Some weird. I think that's the appeal, right? It's like I'm like a burly without the burly. If that makes any sense. So I'm just big and I talk like a fucking redneck in a way, in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Did you like go to school for theater though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a theater major.
Yeah.
I got nominated for 2 different acting scholarships.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Oh, thank you. The Irene Ryan, do you know that? That might be around your neck of the woods if you ever. Did you go to school for theater at all?
Yes and no. I mean, I went to 3 different colleges and I had like
3 what?
10 different majors. Because when it got hard, I quit and just like, nah, I'll try this. Like, I just kept moving. Like,
okay. What was all the majors that you tried? If you don't mind me asking.
Theater studies, acting, directing, film.
Oh wow! So you
writing.
always
It was all. I always had the same idea of where I wanted to be. It just was like when things got lazy and I couldn't lie or cheat anymore. I was just like, all right, I better go do like the next easy thing.
Right.
So I have a degree in television writing.
A degree in television.
Yeah.
Writing. Very cool. I didn't know you could even get that.
Well, yeah. I mean, all you got to do is just send in your money, watch the first 3 seasons of Friends, and they'll give you a degree.
Then you know how to write TV, right?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I mean, I went to an art school in Chicago, and it was my college experience was,
Was it not? Was it not a lot of fun?
I wasn't ready for college, man. I was
Think
just
so?
not. Nah, I wasn't. And it's very important that I got a degree. So I think the second I got it, I just gave it to my mom. I was like, all right, here you go. You want
Oh,
this.
right.
Yeah.
Is that an inherently a Jewish family thing? I hear that all the time. That it's like
to get a college degree?
Yeah.
Well, my mom was like, you better have a backup plan. Like, but my degree's in TV writing.
So it's like this is just the plan. I respect the fuck out of that though, because I've got nothing else. Like this is fucking it, and like I've lived my life like that.
You know what? That's not true. I'll tell you who it's it for. I was walking down Melrose today, and I see a lot of these young kids, like 14, 15, with face tattoos.
Oh,
like when you get a face
SoundCloud
tattoo,
rapper?
Yeah, when you get a face tattoo, you are telling the world, I have no backup plan. Like, this is it.
Oh my
I'm
god,
doing this because I won't be hired at a bank. I won't be hired at the dog wash. Like, I am going to be a rapper, or I am just going to live with my mom for the rest of my life.
Yeah, or like if you better be artistic as a motherfucker and be able to do tattoos for a living, because the only people
That's true. You
know what I mean?
That.
But I mean, dude, not a lot of people can do really well. Like I've got a friend who he's all fucking tatted up back from Ohio. He's got face tattoos and the whole deal, but that's also because he got them after getting a 6-figure job doing tattoos. You know what I mean? So like he's rolling in it, but he's like, tattoos are my life. I will do this forever.
Yeah.
And he's an incredibly talented artist, but it's like he also didn't commit to fucking face tattoos before knowing that he was the shit at this, you know?
Yeah. I wanted to stop this kid today. Like, what are you doing, man?
Especially a young kid. That bothers me.
He looked like 14 or 15.
Jesus.
I don't even know if that's illegal.
I mean, they probably, dude, a lot of it's scratchers, man. Just fucking dudes giving tattoos in their fucking parents' basement and stuff like that.
That was scratchers?
Scratchers, yeah. Scratchers is like, it's a tattoo industry term for just people who give fucking tattoos
Why'd you sound
at
like
home.
a fag when you said that?
I don't know.
Oh.
You know?
I don't know any gay guys with face tattoos.
You know what? Whenever I have this weird, maybe it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Because I come from a place that's, I don't know, kind of dumb. Anytime I'm explaining something, and instead of trying to sound smart, I do a weird voice of any kind. I don't know what it is. That I went gay that time. Don't know why. Yeah. Or effeminate, I should say. Yeah. And I don't know why I
go
do
Asian.
That. Next time. Oh, the scratcher. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
I want to get pulled off YouTube.
No. They put up with Logan Paul for like a decade. You can do some...
Oh, okay. I'd love to talk to you about that. I didn't know anyone even knew who that was.
Logan Paul? I mean, I know... I sort of know who he is, but I don't know all that well who he is.
Okay, because one of the people who I talked to, who I'm referencing when I hear people talk about birthright, is the guy who H3H3. Do you know who that is?
No.
He's a Jewish guy. He's married to a woman from Israel. Ethan and Ela are their names. Hila Klein. And he met her, and they lived in Israel. He actually started his YouTube channel in Israel because he went there. He met Ela, this beautiful girl from the military, and then they got married.
Wow.
And so he talks about how they, when they're doing the birthright, you get off the bus, and then immediately you're greeted by all these gorgeous Israeli women and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and you're always these like, he's like, we're all like scrawny, nerdy Jewish dudes, just like, oh my God, what the hell? And they kind of just slowly but surely
women
con
are
you.
no joke, man.
They're
tough.
3 years military minimum.
Yeah.
So you gotta be in shape. You gotta be, and then most of them are just gorgeous, like insanely good looking. Which is weird because I find a lot of the men are really odd looking.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them, there's obviously beautiful Israeli men out there. But
maybe. I guess probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting that the women look so much different than the men. I feel like.
And they definitely don't look like American Jews.
Not even a little bit. I think that's interesting.
Because American Jewish women literally look like me with just longer hair.
It's true. That is pretty true.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's obviously some beautiful Jewish women out there, especially here in LA. Well, I feel like in LA it's almost a requirement to be beautiful in general. How long have you been out here, by the way, here in LA?
Oh my God, it's coming up on 10 years.
Fuck, you've been out here 10 years? How old are you, by the way? If you don't mind me asking?
I think I'm 34.
You think?
Yeah.
Have you lied about your age so often out here or something?
Yeah, I used to sort of do this bit, like I would talk about how accomplished I was for being 26, and then I'd be like, but I'm actually 34. Like I feel very accomplished for 26.
Oh,
and then I'm like, oh no, that was like almost a decade ago. That didn't. Yeah.
That's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because you've only been doing stand-up now. I don't think we've talked about this yet. For 3 months, right?
Yeah, I started like 3 months ago.
I know, I love it because you're really fresh, but you're a great joke writer.
Thank you, man. Well, that's very nice to say. I've been writing jokes for a long time. I was a joke writer on this movie that's coming out, starring Romany Malco and Regina Hall.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Prison Logic.
Prison Logic.
Yeah, and Romany Malco, he and I met. We were both acting in a movie called Think Like a Man that came out a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
what'd you play in that?
I played a frat guy hitting on a couple of girls.
Oh, really?
Which, can you believe I had to take that dick out of my mouth for a minute just to do that?
Was it hard to play a straight?
So hard. It was so hard. I can't, like if they want to see like a flamboyant gay man, I look like a straight guy being like an asshole, just like being the most stereotypical, like offensive, like it's very, very difficult for me.
I watched you do a set one time where I think maybe it's because you started riffing or something like that, but I remember you never addressed the fact that you were gay, and I think you said faggot like 4 times up front.
Really?
And I remember seeing like some new person kind of give like a
well, like listen, I mean,
look like, oh my God, a big gay basher's up there.
That's one thing like I've sort of noticed about comedy. I mean, I'm super new. Like you'll hear a few straight comics say faggot, but they won't see any other slurs. And it's not offensive to me, like, as a gay person. I don't really care, but it's just like, why are you being selective over what words you will and won't say?
That's a good point. I mean,
I think it's because, and I don't mean to cut you off, is that, like, fine. If you say, the N-word, like, someone's going to kick your ass. Like, you're going to get your ass kicked. And listen, the plight of the black community in this country has been far worse than the gay community has had it,
It's still kind of going too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, not that it's not still a fight for the gay community and stuff, because there's a lot of areas.
Like our version of slavery is like making minimum wage working at Sephora. Like that is where like our slavery has been. But no, but it's just like it is just interesting to see like, and again like I don't care. I will say though, and I'm probably just as guilty of this. I've never seen someone do a bit saying faggot that I thought was interesting or funny. I thought it was kind of low.
Really? So do you think that like?
But it could be funny.
Right.
Absolutely, it could be used like in the right way.
Right.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. You know what? I don't know. I think in Fourth Wall is an interesting place because even if you're a white dude and you want to go up there and say the N-word a whole bunch, like you're allowed. We have no restrictions on what you could say. We try to not censor anybody, but also the repercussions of those actions.
Absolutely.
We will not be responsible for. And especially if you get your ass kicked on stage because you go up there and just like, you know. Well, it's tough shit, buddy. We're also not going to stop them from kicking your
absolutely.
ass. So
you could definitely have repercussions.
Yeah, that, and especially if you go up and you say the F word aggressively.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I say F word now. I'm being selective, of course.
Yeah.
But no, like
you have permission from me.
to drop a faggot.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna say it, I only say it if it's been said by somebody else.
Sure, absolutely.
But, like, because I never I don't think I have any right to use it derogatorily. Because I really didn't even grow up saying it a whole lot. Like, it doesn't mean the same thing to me that it made it to other people.
Gay guys don't like it though. Like, I think that, like, you know, if I was performing at a gay show and I said that, I think people would groan. They would like.
You know what, Rocha? I think he's told me before that he kind of has that problem as well because it's like he says it all the fucking time, and it's. Almost like he says honestly that he doesn't.
He's also Mexican, so he can say like all of them.
He can say all the slurs.
Yeah,
I think he could even probably drop a subtle N-bomb.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Chris Gardner has a really funny bit, and I don't want to like steal his bit, but about like who can and can't say it, and like the gatekeepers and
yeah.
That like was so true.
And, like, letting people slip by. And
yeah,
stuff.
I had
think
two.
Really funny,
I when I moved.
Shout out Chris Gardner.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to talk to you about moving, but when I moved few years ago, I had these two Armenian guys who had just both gotten out of prison. Not jail, prison.
Fuck.
And
prison.
Yes. And that was their favorite word.
No shit. So they would say it just in like normal conversation.
No, and they weren't saying like the hip hop version. Like I asked, because like
hard R.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and I was like,
with an Armenian accent, I bet that sounds even more offensive.
I know. I was like, came to the point where I was like, God, if I ever really needed to bury a body, like I now know who I would call. It would be these two guys.
Oh, dude, I imagine I've heard from a lot of people who've been to prison. I've got a few in my family, obviously. Like the racist culture in prison. Like if you're not racist and you go to prison, you have to re-up on your racism. Because it is the most racially divided. Like, there's no, like, I'm friends with black people and Mexican people, and I'm white. Doesn't fucking happen there. Like, you got to join a fucking group.
That's true in traffic court as well. It's just all over. Any part of the judicial
I'm in a
system.
DUI class right now, and let me tell you. No. But, so you're reaffirming. So, I mean, imagine these Armenian dudes are going in there and, like, it's literally a gang mentality while you're in there, and in order to survive, and God only knows what the fuck they did to get in there.
And I think because they were being super homophobic, and I was like, guys, chill out.
I think
like,
there's a lot of, like, the Armenian community seems to be incredibly homophobic.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think there's like I mean, an oozing of masculinity.
Yes.
But like the thing is, like, I am a great gay person for homophobes because like I am like. Gay training wheels. Yeah, exactly.
Gay training wheels.
I can sit there and talk about sports or whatever.
Right. Okay, yeah. So it's not like you like ooze effeminate nature or whatever. It's not like you are because you talked about fucking I mean, you're wearing a Bulls hat.
Yeah.
That's pretty ungay.
It is very well, I mean, you know, the Bulls are terrible this year, so it's super gay to like them. But no, yeah, I've always liked, and I talk about, like, I am probably most comfortable watching sports with my straight guy friends. I mean, it's kind of just always been that way. Like, whenever I've been in West Hollywood, like, it is like.
Well, I mean, you know, you've got
very uncomfortable. It's just it's just unfamiliar.
I think we're also getting out of the need to either be super straight or be super gay.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like, I'm not all. I mean, I don't think I'm all that unique. You know,
maybe not anymore because now it's just fine, and now it's like almost like you've got your bros, and they're like, I'm a bro, but like suck dicks with other bros, you know what I mean? So it's like that, and that's fine now.
Who are these guys? I would love to meet them. I don't know.
I got some numbers on.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, the more like not gay like gay people is more of a thing now. I think because it's like, I think someone was explaining to me one time.
Eric Rocha. I was surprised.
Oh yeah. He's
like,
also another guy.
I mean, I thought he would not like. He was so straight, like he owned a pawn shop.
That's pretty
like,
straight. Dude.
Yeah, that like.
I don't think gays own pawn shops.
No.
Is that not a thing?
No.
You're right. And you know what? I've seen the same thing happen that I was talking about with you. He gets on stage and says a bunch of stuff, and like even yesterday he did a set, and a guy goes up and goes, "Man, I thought you were like the most homophobic person ever," and then you were talking about having sex with a guy at the end, and I'm like, when he's here, he doesn't ever elaborate on the fact that he's gay. He never says it up front,
right?
And which I love, which is like, fuck you. I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I am what I am. I love that attitude, but at the same time, like, if it's a crowd of normal people, it's like, you better tell them.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to know. There's no, and especially with you, like, there's no fucking, I mean, it's not like you're getting up there and also, okay, I think there's two different types of gay comic. There's a gay comic.
Yeah.
And there's a comic that happens to be gay.
Yeah.
Two completely different fucking things. Like, if you're a gay comic, you get up there and be like, every fucking joke you've got
is about sex or debauchery or drunk or I mean, I have I think there's part of me that always sort of like kicks myself for starting so late, but
comedy or being gay?
No, comedy. I haven't started the gay thing yet. I'm still in purgatory. I'm just waiting. With comedy, but like it, I think where I'm lucky is that I know who I am. And so coming into a comedic world, knowing who I am and knowing what my voice is, is lucky. Because if I had started doing this at 24, I never would have talked about gay stuff at all.
You don't think so?
No, I don't
When did
think
you
so.
come out, if you don't mind me asking?
I do mind you asking. No, I'm just kidding. I was 22.
It's a little later than
yeah, it was later. Yeah.
Why is that? Do you think you just weren't sure, or?
I mean, honestly, man, like.
Or is it a family thing too?
No. I mean, my mother is a Broadway theater producer. I
think she'd be cool.
Right? And like, this is like every gay kid's dream. And I don't really like Broadway musicals. Like,
wow.
Like
you're the anti-gay.
Seriously, like these poor kids in Alabama who are like being thrown out of their house. Like, I have the world's greatest thing, and I don't give a shit about it. Like, what an asshole I am.
I mean, it's to each their fucking own. No, I mean, like it's interesting. I almost feel like, honestly, it's kind of interesting that. Well, what did your dad do?
Just a businessman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Standard straight businessman.
Just a standard businessman. Works in sales.
I think it's interesting. Like, I almost feel like it's some oddly like counterbalanced rebellion. It's like the kids who grew up in Alabama with the super religious parents and stuff, and it's just like, then they're gonna go as gay this way as fucking possible.
Yeah.
And then they love musical theater and tap dance and all kinds of stuff. But it's like, I like that it's like your mom is a Broadway producer, and you're like, I like football.
Yeah, I mean, just always have.
Shit.
I mean, like, we have season tickets to all. More of my family has to all the games, and so like, I worked as a sports broadcaster before I was an actor in high school and stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
so that's very cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I think like I'm like trying to work on like to be like a good gay for my girlfriends, And this is like because this is true. Like 2 days ago, I went on my phone and I wrote "Yas Queen" to a girlfriend of mine, and I sent it, and I looked down and it autocorrected to "Yes, Karen."
Like your phone wouldn't even let you.
No, she's like, "Yes, Karen, what?"
I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
No, it's total fail, man.
I gotta say though, not that it's a bit of a non sequitur, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy Queer Eye on Netflix. I thought it was great.
I've seen it a little bit. I know a lot of my.
I watched the whole thing. It was really good.
Yeah, I know people really like it. Yeah, that's what I hear. I don't know, man.
It was beautiful.
If Ken Burns isn't doing like a 10-part series on it, I usually don't watch it.
God, I think you're straighter than me.
Dude, I love Ken Burns. I will watch 100 hours of Ken Burns talking about paint drying.
Did you watch his entire Vietnam?
Oh my God, yeah, of course.
I heard it was really good. I haven't watched it.
It's amazing, man.
I love that you've watched all of that, and I've watched all of Queer Eye.
Yeah.
I feel like we're meeting in the middle somewhere here.
I live with my best friend who's straight, but like sharp dresser, used to be a model, like all these things. And on their Netflix, it will be like all these like gay titles, like queer, all these things. And like, I remember a buddy being like, "I didn't think you watched this." I was like, "This is not mine. Like,
It's your
he is
straight
all, like, this
friends.
is all his."
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like you guys are like some odd counterbalance. Like if they
Yeah.
played Who's the Gay? If
Yes. Seriously. Yeah. Exactly.
So you were 22 when you first came out.
Yeah.
Again, why the late onset? I mean, nothing.
Denial, man. Denial,
really?
Denial.
Why did you not? Why were you in denial about it? If I could fuck it, I'd like to delve deep here behind.
I mean, I think that's like, I deny a lot of things until it like hits me in the face. You
Really?
know? Yeah. Absolutely.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like, what was the defining moment that was like, all right, I am definitely this.
Honestly, man, it's sort of a weird experience that just like, I just knew like towards like end of the year when I was like, it was 2006, just things were getting weird in my mind. And
Were you dating women at the time too?
trying to, but no,
Really?
no. I mean, listen, man, it was like there was like, you know, it wasn't like I was straight. I just was like living a straight lifestyle, but like,
Right, and not addressing.
I mean, my parents are probably gonna see this, so like, this is embarrassing for me to admit, but like, whenever I would go on a date with a girl to get relaxed beforehand, I would watch porn. I wasn't watching straight porn.
Bro, so you were watching gay porn.
And then I would go out with a girl, and I did not think nothing. I just
never thought
in
anything
one
strange
and
about
out. Nope, never.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, I mean, that's...
I hope this is turning Rob Morris on.
He's a beautiful man. What's your type, by the way? If we could just
Rob
completely jump.
Morris.
That's
Rob
all your
now.
type? Little beautiful twink boys?
Just nice guys. I don't know.
That sounds like a man without a type. Just
I know.
anyone who will cuddle.
Yeah.
You cuddle.
Ronan Farrow.
Ronan Farrow. I don't think I know who that is.
You don't know Ronan, the guy who does all the Me Too stories?
Mm-mm.
It was Woody Allen's son, but he looks like Frank Sinatra.
No, I don't know who that is. I'm going to Google him real quick.
Dude, you got to stop watching the Outdoors Network and put on the news for some time.
Ronan. Oh, Farrow. Excuse us while we Google. Oh! Yeah, he's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
I get, so that's your what your go-to?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's really Woody Harrelson's son?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen's fucking
well, I mean, technically, but
interesting.
he looks exactly like Frank Sinatra, who Mia Farrow was with before Woody Allen.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, he looks fucking nothing like Woody Allen.
Yeah.
No fucking way that's Woody Allen's son.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, we've cracked the case here, everybody.
Yeah,
That's fucking Sinatra's son.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would love if someone
God
watching would
damn.
ask a question.
Yeah, I know. No one's really asking any
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Oh, we're here at about 42 minutes. We got about 15, 16 minutes, and we'll wrap
Wow,
up.
it's been that long?
Well, we're at 42:33.
Jeez, wow.
Time flies when I'm probing you about gayness.
Seriously.
Probing.
Go home and put in preparation H.
I've been probing that.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's backtrack. I try my hardest, and I've gotten many a comment on this.
Yeah.
I got ADD like a motherfucker, so my questions will...
No,
and I'll
that's
never
good.
get back to the original point.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, you just cover so many topics. I'm like, yeah, because I can't remember what we talked about before. Okay. So when did you... you were 22 when you came out, but when... Have you had long-term relationships and stuff like that? Have you had any...
jeez.
I'm sorry, I got to probe that deep, dude.
You're probing.
I
have, long term. I mean, listen, what I'll say is like, this is a really hard city to date in.
Oh, dude, yeah. If you want a committed relationship, this is not the fucking city to live in.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I've here and there, but I went for young and broken.
That's what I go for too. If we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore though.
Okay, so you strayed away from that because I imagine that has got to be emotionally taxing. Because
Yeah,
I mean, most people are broken out here in general.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, like almost 18 months ago, I got sober and sort of changed a bunch of shit in my life.
Oh, no shit. Okay, I didn't know you were sober. That's great. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
No, I've been cutting out the drinking and stuff like that, trying to...
Drinking, I was addicted to marijuana.
Really?
Which is supposed to be non-addictive. I must have been doing it wrong.
You know what? It's one of those things.
No, it is.
It's totally addictive.
Is. Anything is. Sugar is.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I can't stop eating this fucking...
No.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Eli Haber. Shout out to Eli Haber for...
just try this real quick. So...
Delicious popcorn. He works... Where does he work exactly? I know you know. I know you're a big fan.
I don't know. I ate a lot of that shit when I was stoned. Oh, my God.
Dude, that's another thing. Okay, let me tell you the story. Since I've been making you overshare, I'll overshare a little
Yeah, that's all right.
What really turned me off from smoking a lot of weed, because I barely smoke weed. It's very seldom.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I think I've done any of the marijuanas was like a few weeks ago. I ate a couple edibles and tripped my nuts off for a while.
Yeah, I don't like edibles.
There's no off switch, and my metabolism is not okay. Like, it is slow as a turtle. So like it was not a good.
Yeah, yeah.
You quit drinking. It's court ordered. I mean, technically, my drinking is court ordered, Chris. Thank you for letting me know.
Exactly.
Yeah, legally. Yeah. Anyway, I used to date this girl who made weed cookies, and she made all these experimental batches, and so I ate some, and I was just high as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Unacceptably high, like tripping balls kind of high. And I walked into the kitchen in the house I was living in at the time, or the apartment I was living in at the time. I lived with a roommate, and he had went to the grocery that day. I opened up the cabinet, and I see that he's got these chocolate peanut butter fucking fudge bar things.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I ate the whole box because I'm a piece of shit.
Nah, I mean, when
you know what I
I'm
mean?
stoned.
Do you get fucking the munchies?
Oh,
like crazy?
It's
It's really bad for me, man. But
I would... I spent so much money on Postmates, like McDonald's. And
especially, you're high as shit, and then you walk out and you're stoned staring at some dude, and you're trying to awkwardly grab the food. I've been there. But
horrible.
What I didn't know, I was like, these are delicious. I want to read this box so I can buy these.
Yeah.
And they were 10x fiber bars.
Oh, boy.
They were fiber bars, and I ate enough fiber to bring down a fucking bull elephant.
Man.
And I'm no joke, dude. My beehole dry heaved for 2 weeks. I couldn't even eat solid foods. I was the most miserable I'd ever been in my entire life.
That would have been the perfect opportunity to sign up for a colonoscopy.
I know.
You were
dude,
just ready.
I was fucking empty, man.
Yeah.
It was not okay.
Yeah.
It was. So that's one of the reasons I fucking dialed back. But so you get the munchies like a motherfucker too. Dude.
To a dangerous level, yeah.
Yeah, like I think I could eat myself probably to death. No
I mean,
joke.
like it's serious. Like, I would eat so much and pass out. Like there were a couple times I woke up choking on my vomit.
That's fucking
crazy.
Dude. I mean,
Jimi Hendrix dies. Like, I don't know what drugs he wanted. He choked on his vomit, and like,
he's doing heroin or something.
Yeah, he's this rock star legend, and it's like me like go down like like he died choking on a quarter pounder.
You know what, man?
There's nothing cool about it. I have no cool stories. It was just pathetic. Just
you know what?
awful.
As a big and chubby dude, man, that's so embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
I stopped eating McDonald's. Even now, I won't eat it.
Really?
Nah. It tastes great. It tastes amazing.
The biggest thing, I don't want to die fat. You know what I mean? Or die in a way that it would be embarrassing because I'm fat. Like I feel like I have so much insecurity when it comes to weight from being so heavy for so many years.
Oh sure.
Chris.
I only say oh sure because I feel you.
Were you a bigger kid and stuff like that?
I mean, it was always up and down.
Really?
Yeah, I had a shrink once say, I think you replace sex with food, and I was like, that's like
interesting.
Shrink 101, and that was
that's
so true.
Yeah. It's a shame too, because I mean, I get it, man. Like honestly, when I was going on my diets from 370 and down, like
you were 370 pounds.
That was my heaviest. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you want to see a picture?
Yeah. How much do you weigh now?
This isn't about you anymore. I'm at 225.
Holy
right
cow.
Now.
That's amazing.
I try. Oh wait, I'm already. Shit, I can't show you. I'll show you later, buddy.
Yeah.
That way we don't bore these people for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think like the marijuana debate is a really interesting thing. And I have no qualms that it's legalized. Like I don't think people who smoke pot are bad or anything like that. My issue with it is that, like, I don't think there's yet been an adult conversation about marijuana.
We're still, because it's nationally banned,
Yeah.
scientists aren't allowed to study it.
No, and I think that's terrible. I mean, first and foremost, you have to stop locking up black and brown people for. I mean, that is just insanity.
Oh, dude. Well, that's even. I mean, yeah. First off, that's the main reason why pot's illegal, anyways.
It's
I mean,
insane that
because
someone
of
would
the
even
civil
do it.
rights movement and the hippies. They were like, we want to get these fucking hippies and all these minorities to fuck off the street because
Yeah.
they're causing problems.
Yeah.
They're voting liberal. They're
Yeah.
fucking, doing all this stuff, and we want them out.
I think it was like it used to be legal, and then I don't know exactly the story, but William Randolph Hearst, who was a paper magnate,
Yes.
Who Citizen Kane is after.
He banned it because
He
hemp
banned
is
hemp.
yeah,
Yeah.
because if you took every fucking field in Ohio and you replaced all the fucking shit soybeans and all the fucking corn that they
Yeah.
only use for seed, they don't
Yeah.
even harvest anymore for actual food,
Yeah.
because all the fucking corn that comes from food comes from, like, Nebraska and bullshit like that. We just harvest seeds essentially in Ohio. You just plow all that down and replace it with hemp fields, because you can actually grow, especially now, hemp that basically doesn't produce buds. So you
Yeah.
can grow just hemp, but even that is illegal because of the type 1 or state whatever, because it's national Schedule 1 federal ban. You could grow that, and dude,
Yeah.
it would demolish the paper
For
industry.
sure.
We wouldn't have to touch a single fucking rainforest.
Yeah.
It would ruin it.
Well, I'll say this: like, weed is not hippie local growers anymore. Weed is big business. Like,
It's huge,
MedMen
man.
is $1 billion company. Where, like,
Dude.
so I feel sort of bad that these people who really fought for it, who are sort of like, I feel like these smaller growers who are like trying to advance a cause, like, it is just pure capitalism now.
Yeah, I know. And it's a shame, but also, I don't know. It is free market in a way. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
that I support
I mean,
free
like-
market, but at the same time, like,
Like, I was saying, like, the adult conversations, like, everybody on the far right says it's the devil's drug and you'll go to hell. And that's
I still
absolutely
can't
true.
believe that's
It's insane. It's
I thought you said you actually believe that it's the devil's
Oh
drug.
no! It's absolutely. I mean, it's insane. And then everybody on the left, it was like it cures everything and does all this and all that,
Which is
and that's
bullshit.
also wrong.
Well, dude, there's 42 molecules in marijuana.
Yeah,
We've identified 2. THC
Yeah.
and cannabinoid.
yeah,
We don't know what the fuck the other 40
yeah.
do.
No, and it definitely needs to be studied. And people who use it for medication, like a lot of that is the CBD. Like, you don't need to be getting high.
Yes, exactly. You don't need to be, like, if you just got pure CBD, super concentrated oil, and took that, like, I do know, though, that the THC does help with people with seizures.
Absolutely.
That's
And like,
true.
I would say, like, people who have HIV or cancer and
that helps so
need an
much.
appetite,
Yeah.
amazing. It's an amazing thing. I
But
was
they
just
also
like, I
don't know
need
that
to-
the THC is what controls the munchies. Again, there's 40 molecules that we
That's very true. Yeah.
have no fucking idea what they do.
Yeah.
And I think eventually, hopefully, when we study it in the future, we can be like, okay, we can do like insanely personalized genetic engineered weed where you can be like, I don't want to have the munchies. I have fucking back pain. And
Yeah.
so like they can identify. Cause
I once went to a dispensary and asked them, I was like, well, I need to smoke something that like will not give me the munchies. And it was like the worst high. It was like I had a headache and it was like,
really?
it was awful, man. Yeah.
So see, again, they don't know
Yeah.
100% yet. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of, especially with, dude, it's getting so goddamn potent. Like I took a hit before like a 10 o'clock show one time because they were, of course, always just passing around joints out there. And like I sat down at the desk and went, oh no, like I was a hit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. They just made CBD oil. Yeah, they just made fucking CBD oil illegal in Ohio, man.
Yeah. I mean,
What
that's
the
good.
fuck is wrong with you, Ohio?
Yeah.
CBD oil has absolutely no fucking psychoactive
Yeah.
properties whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean,
Do you believe that, dude?
I don't know. People are crazy. But, I mean, like, you'll be on the road and I smell it all the time. And
Especially out here.
yeah, and people are smoking and driving. Like, my thing is, like, if you saw someone drinking a beer and driving, you're like, dude, I think you've got, like, an issue with alcohol. Like, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But with weed, nobody says really anything. And it absolutely affects your motor skills and your driving. And I understand
sure.
that they are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, just as, like, you know, a silly example, but it's so true. Like, you never heard of someone getting really stoned and wanting to fight someone.
It's true.
Like, it's not, it doesn't make people like, and that was the thing. I was like, well, I'm not hurting anybody, but I was like, yeah, but I'm hurting myself. Like, I literally I had just given up on life and sat and like people like who are like just know like potheads who sit around and smoke all day. It's very possible that they're addicted to it.
Yeah, and it's also like Rogan is a great example of a rare stoner, in the sense that
Joe or Seth.
Joe, not Seth. No, well, maybe Seth. I guess he works and stuff, but he's a chubby dude. But Joe Rogan is a dude who he says he smokes pot and he goes and he lifts weights. I've tried to do that, and and even if it's doesn't matter, indica sativa, my happy ass isn't going to the fucking gym.
Well, I did it a few times where I get high and then go to the gym, and it worked okay. But then I came home and ate like it ruined it.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. Yeah. So there are grand exceptions when it comes to that, but like it really did. I think weed did make me more depressed.
Absolutely.
It was like
I'll just say from my experience, like, and I'm totally not trying to preach to anyone. I think if it works for you, that's awesome, and my hats out to you. I know for me, when I used to say, well, it helped my anxiety, didn't help my anxiety. It just numbed my anxiety, and then my anxiety came back. I didn't have any tools to work on my anxiety, and now thankfully I do. But you know, I just call it kind of like a spiritual Xanax. It just sort of like numbs you out. It chills you out. And if that's all you're looking for, then hats off to you. That's cool. Like, I would never dare judge anybody for wanting to do what they want to do.
That's why I would do it. I would always do it when I would smoke a lot of weed. When I was smoking every day, I'd smoke at night. I would never get high during the day because it'd be fucking useless. But when I would smoke at night, I'd wake up in the morning and it would just take me an extra 30 minutes to get my shit going. Like,
sure.
It's kind of stuck around with me, maybe because my metabolism's slow, whatever the fuck it is. But it just, unfortunately, it is not, unless I find a different kind. Like, it is just not a drug that I can do.
Yeah.
Not regularly, anyway.
But you like Coke?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
From time to time.
I never tried it.
But you know what, man? No, that's fucking danger zone, man. It's
that was never my thing.
I've done it many, many times before.
Boy.
Unfortunately, a lot of things also. Ohio is one of those places where if you're not doing heroin, you're probably doing coke. And, you know, there's tons of people obviously watching and stuff who don't do fucking anything because they're responsible adults. But in my hometown, man, every person I know that was doing heroin, they stopped hanging out with the people who only do coke because, like, everyone else is just doing coke. Like, surprising amounts of people.
Yeah.
People you would never suspect, but everybody's either doing blow or they're fucking doing pills of some kind. Pills or heroin. So it's just one of those places where, man, where everybody, they have nothing better to do than to get fucked up. So for a very long time, I would do a lot of blow.
Like, I think, though, also it's like, just speaks to, like, I think a greater movement that I would love to see in our culture is we kind of live in this fast food, a fast food culture where we want that immediate hit. We want that instant gratification. Yeah. Where, like, this is going to come off super preachy, and I don't mean it to, but, like, I found meditation, things like that I do every single day that help. I mean, you know, it's not.
I like that you found that. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
not
never
like
even giving it a fucking try. I don't know much about it.
You know what, man? I just started with a minute a day, and I was thinking that, I mean, I'm ADD insane too, like, and it just, 5-10 minutes a day, something like that.
That's great.
Yeah, or just doing guided ones.
Guided helps. I've tried some guided. What's the difference between just your standard meditation and transcendental meditation? What the fuck is the difference there? Do you know?
Transcendental meditation is when it used to be a girl, but now it's a guy. You should know that.
You know what? Let's not answer that question. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious.
No, transcendental meditation. I think you like sort of like enter a different realm, or I don't know.
Because I was listening to Hugh Jackman talk about how he's a huge fan of transcendental meditation, and he would do a lot of habits that I have, like weird little, not necessarily OCD, but like, I don't know, maybe it's just active anxiety shit. Like when I would drive down the street and pass telephone poles, like when I lived in a place where there were a lot of telephone poles, I guess. Not that there's not here, nevertheless. Like I'd click my teeth every time I passed, like some, I don't know, some weird fucking.
Yeah.
And he said he does that as well, and he had a lot of anxiety, and he said transcendental meditation helped him really overcome a great deal of that.
I heard he's just a pothead.
Who, really?
No.
Oh, man, you had me there for a second. I thought you were right. You're probably right. I mean, I imagine if you're that rich and you have that much money, you could probably do whatever kind of drugs you want.
Yeah, Probably could.
You can plug cocaine. You know what that is? Just throw a cocaine rock in the beehole.
Is that?
I've heard that's a thing.
Yeah, I know that there's the.
I've heard you do it with a straw.
Soaking a tampon with booze.
That seems like fucking madness to me.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of girls doing that and putting it in their old hoo-ha.
Yeah.
And that has to burn.
I went and spoke to a bunch of kids at a rehab. They were like 13 years old.
About butt plugging?
No. And they were doing drugs I'd never even heard of. Like 13, 14. I mean,
there's a lot of designer drugs out there, and like that crazy. You know, did you hear about that epidemic in Florida, Flocka?
No.
Never heard about that?
I don't know what that is.
This shit was bananas. There's all these videos online. Just Google fucking Flocka videos because it was this designer drug that apparently you trip shit for like a month. It just keeps coming in, coming out.
Oh my God.
And dude, there would be people like just. It looked like a World War Z with Brad Pitt. Like, dude, people throwing their fucking heads against glass windows and stuff, and just freaking out. And it's, I don't know why it existed, but there's all these designer drugs like that some fucking weird dude made in a lab and just put out there for the sake of, I don't know, chaos.
Wow.
Well, what were some of the drugs that you heard about these fucking kids taking? Do you remember any of the names of them?
Drugs. I can't remember like ones I hadn't heard of, but like, you know, like chugging vanilla extract or.
Oh, you never heard of that before? This is a super alcoholic thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't know people would even do that.
Yeah, because it's like 0.5% alcohol. Like you'd have to get a lot of vanilla extract.
Yeah.
But the difference is like you can buy like a gallon of that shit if you're a kid, you know.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm glad that's not my life anymore. And it's like,
yes, how long did you work in that rehab? You said.
I didn't work. I just went and spoke there once.
Oh, you spoke there?
Yeah, no,
okay.
I didn't work there. No.
Gotcha.
But you know, for the last few years, I sort of like, you know, like I was trying to think what kept me up at night, and it was always like I had been wanting to do stand-up comedy for years, and I just was too afraid to do it, and I went to an open mic this past February at some coffee shop, and it was just awful. Like it was.
Yeah. What coffee shop was it, if you remember?
It was on Melrose. I don't remember. The guy who ran it was a super nice guy. It was just like kind of chaotic, and people were fighting about who got there first and all these things. And
oh Jesus. So that's a bad experience for your first fucking time going to a mic.
Yeah. I mean, I remember my buddy who's a comedian named Charlie Behrens, who's very, very successful. He does a thing called the Manitowoc Minute. He gets hundreds of thousands of views every week. It's like a weekend update type news show where he does this thick Wisconsin accent, and he does all these shows. He does a lot of live shows in Wisconsin. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to open for him for a couple of shows.
Oh, that's right. You were you testing out your Wisconsin material, right?
Wisconsin material where I can do no potty humor. So Charlie's doing a bunch of these shows, and I had met him and like a little more than a year ago, and one day he was like, "Hey, I need someone to produce my tour. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't know how to do this.
Right.
But I was just like, just say yes and figure it out.
Yeah.
Just don't say no, because
so much stuff in this city. Like
I had no idea what I was. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was doing it, and I saw him perform, and it was great. And we'd had these long car rides from venue to venue, and he was just like, "Why are you not trying this, man?" And I was just, I just honestly, I ran out of excuses. And
I mean, dude, it is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I think it definitely is.
The first couple of times.
We had a show with like 1,100 people, and we only had one opener, and we needed two. And he was like, "All right, man, just go up there and tell some." Like my first time ever was in front of like 1,100 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and it went like fine enough. Like
that's really cool. Though,
I watched the video of it the other day and seen it in a while, and it kind of looks like I'm sort of like apologizing, like back there.
It's got his demeanor of oh.
Yeah, like right. I'm gonna tell a couple of jokes if that's okay. But yeah, I mean, for me, like, I do think there's a lot of courage that is involved in this, but I think more than that, like when it doesn't go well, because the first few times it didn't go well for me, I was like, I'm done, I'm quitting. Really? And then I was like, you have to just go back Like, because it would be so, like, I feel like a lot of people will try it 3 or 4 times. And the first time goes great or whatever, and then, like, it doesn't go well, and you're like, screw this. This is way too hard, and it's never going to happen. But, yeah, I did Mike today, and it didn't go well. And
did you do the place?
The place, yes.
We're not going to bring it up.
No.
All right, we are at an hour. Unfortunately, we got to fucking wrap this motherfucker up.
Well, thank you for letting me come on.
Dude, thank you so much for being on here. I'm glad you finally tried to stand up and gave it a go, because then you've been brought to me, and you've been brought to the fourth wall.
I just want to quickly say that my attempt at stand-up comedy would absolutely never be possible if it wasn't for the fourth wall. This place,
Dude,
of course, and I told this to Joe as well, like, it has been like, without this place, I'm just still lying in my bed thinking like this is not possible. So,
dude, thank you so much.
I owe a lot to you guys. No, I really owe a lot to you guys.
I feel with a lot of pride, man, because I know me and Joe, obviously the archetype, the owner, the amazing man.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've just invested my life in this place, and I love this fucking place
and
what it does for this scene.
Yeah, I tell everybody that wants to listen and doesn't want to listen to come check this place out. Because there really is nothing like it. I treat these like shows. You should,
and you should. Then the comics that come here and they go into real audiences and they go into real huge shows, and they murder.
Yeah,
this place creates killers. I mean, the growth I've seen in you in just 3 months.
Oh, thanks,
you don't see in a lot of comics in years in the middle of the country that don't have the opportunity to come here and rail out all these mics. So
appreciate that. Well,
fantastic stuff.
Most credit is given to you and to Joe.
No, well. Appreciate you, good sir. Also,
thanks,
anything
man.
you want to plug? You want to plug your shows or your Instagram or anything like that?
Well, I'll just plug the show. So if you are in Wisconsin or have friends in Wisconsin, have them check out ManitowalkMinute.com. There are shows coming up. We're doing 2 shows in Manitowoc. We're doing in Platteville, Milwaukee, all over Wisconsin, a couple in Minneapolis and in Illinois. Charlie's an amazing comic. He keeps it very clean, so it's a family-friendly show.
Excellent.
It's great. So it's come out, and it will be a really, really good time.
Well, beautiful. Thank you so much again, Andrew, for being on here. I'm glad to be able to show you to the world. And by the world, I mean like all 10 people that like me here. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Behind the Fourth Wall. I'm Travis Clyburn, Andrew Roffe. Have a good night, you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. I hit the wrong